we are here with Sit Down with Nin'na. This is the 13th episode. That's kind of crazy to think about, but today we got JD Black in the house, and so yeah, just we'll just start off by give the people an introduction on who you are, what you do, the stuff you're interested in. Yeah, take it away.
Hey everyone, my name's JD Black, from the Siksika Nation, obviously. My father's from Manitoba area. I'm not really sure which part, but I guess today we're really going to be discussing the history of our baseball team, Springtime, and our new up-and-coming team, the Treaty 7 Fastball Kings. So, yeah, that being said.
Oh yeah, definitely. So maybe just to start off the conversation, maybe give us like a little bit of how your interest peaked into baseball. The stuff that your main reasons for being so interested in slow pitch or
Well, slow pitch when we were younger.
yeah.
It was in the flats back then when the arbor never used to be there, right?
Oh yeah.
So there used to be two diamonds. One was man-made. The other one was like a fence, a real fence, I guess.
Oh really?
You could say. Yeah. And I was always around my aunties and uncles.
Yeah.
And back then, almost every community or every family had a baseball team. There was the Many Bears. I think there were Slowfoots.
Mm-hmm.
There was also the Red Guns. They were the Wolverines.
Yeah.
Chicago West. Carl Manyguns had his 38 special.
Yeah.
Then my family team, we had two teams. They were the Magpies and the Centennials.
Yeah.
And I kind of was just that little kid that liked being around sports. And when you're in sports, there's the very rare type of kid that hangs around your aunties and uncles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was that one that always wanted to get right in there.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to play. I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
And my first time I've got interested in it is when my mom bought me a bat, a ball, and a girl's glove.
Oh yeah.
So I used to hit the ball up in the air, put my glove on, and then try catch it. So I did that all the time. And this was before internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had to make your own fun. So whether it was throwing rocks up, hitting it with a stick, just little things like that. So I had some good teachers back in the day, and a lot of them were my family, and that's where it all started, was family.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like also too, maybe can you tell us also too a little about your teams that you played with, like some of the achievements that you've gotten over the years. I know you've delved into basketball too. Maybe you could give us a little bit of that too. Maybe just basically tell us about all your achievements and like kind of yeah.
Okay. Well, in slow pitch, I had quite a few achievements.
Yeah.
But those were like bittersweet.
Yeah.
It was who I'd done it with.
Oh yeah.
And the people that I've done these achievements with is always family.
Mm-hmm.
And when I run my slow pitch teams, I base it around family.
Yeah.
So that's why when I make posts on social media and stuff like that, I always say it's my family team Springtime. Because we're basically a family. And I would like to say we're a rare breed, because back in the day, like I said earlier, almost every community had their own family teams.
Mm-hmm.
And you were able to make a tourney on the reserve and just invite teams from inside Siksika, and you'll still get like at least 10 or 12 or 14 teams. Right?
Oh yeah.
And the tournaments were awesome back then. They were loud. In order to get your team riled up, you had to cheer against each other. So I ran into great people that played the game that are no longer here with us. Like, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say his name, but his name was Eddie McMaster. If you ever seen this guy play, he was a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
He was good at basketball and slow pitch.
Yeah.
So if you ever seen the families go at it back in the day, it was all like left on the field.
Yeah.
But once you were on there, you were in a war zone. So you're like yelling at each other,
Oh yeah.
trying to get them off their game. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And some of those times, we've had some rough times against those type of teams back in the day.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I'm a very good watcher, so I learned how to pick up things and how to create my own team to make my own recipe to
Oh
see
yeah,
what
yeah,
works. Eh?
yeah,
And then that being said, I started Spain time about 12, 13
yeah,
years ago, and we started off as just us, my adopted parents,
mm-hmm.
and a few not big ones that used to play on this team we call the Jokers.
Yeah,
And we've won quite a bit, actually.
yeah,
We placed either first, second, or third. It was very rare we placed in the bottom.
mm-hmm.
And that was a generation ahead. So I got to play with two generations.
Yeah,
So when they were playing, when I was playing with them, I was in my early 20s.
yeah.
Now that I'm 36, I'm playing with their kids.
Oh yeah,
So that's kind of like a cool thing
yeah, yeah.
that I get to experience now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I get to tell them some of their stories of what happened. And
yeah, yeah.
this was back then when there was aluminum bats.
Oh really?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was like all metal bats and
Oh yeah,
not really the composite now that
yeah,
you
yeah.
see nowadays.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And our family team, Spain time, up until recently, we've been pretty successful,
Mm-hmm.
placing in a lot of tournaments, getting recognized by NSA.
Yeah,
When the diamonds opened up over here,
yeah, yeah.
we were the first to win it, and
Oh,
we've won it with our family team. We got to play with our uncle Sean and our auntie Mandy, and
Mm-hmm.
then his son. We got to play with his son
Yeah.
and his daughter, and yeah, that was a pretty cool moment.
Oh yeah.
And then this recent past Indian days, we took it again.
Oh crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool actually. We kind of went undefeated.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy,
Yeah, yeah.
but all the games that we did win was either by 2 or 1. It was really close.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the one thing with us is that we don't get down on each other.
Yeah.
When we know that we're in the wrong,
Yeah.
it's easy because we're family, so we can tell each other what we're doing wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But if you make a team and you have a bunch of players that don't really know each other,
Mm-hmm.
no one's not really going to take that criticism, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Also too, like just because I thought about it while you were talking too. I find there's a lot of hidden talent on the reserve too. Do you find like there's like a lot of the sometimes that hidden talent kind of goes unrecognized in a sense, like where kind of like, well, I found that happening, well, because I played hockey too, because I found that happened with hockey. You know, a lot of players kind of didn't went unrecognized because of just because of, you know, discrimination issues and stuff like that. Do you find that happens a lot on the, like, with other sports too? Like, have you experienced, well, like, have you seen that happen to where, yeah, yeah,
Not necessarily in slow pitch,
yeah,
but I've had my fair share of coaching
yeah, yeah,
within the basketball area.
Yeah.
And there was definitely some boys and
Yeah.
some girls that could have went. I think if they had the right coaching and the right direction,
mm-hmm.
they could have definitely went to the next level.
Yeah, yeah,
And some of these kids, unfortunately, it's kind of like the way I was brought up as well.
yeah, yeah.
Didn't have that push from
Oh
home.
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And when they didn't have that push from home, it was hard for them to get to practice and stuff like that. So they needed people like in their lives to
mm-hmm.
make that step for them. For me, I was very lucky. I was lucky to have Ben and Michelle in my life. Ben and Michelle was Stringer Wolf.
Yeah,
When I met them when I was 14, I didn't recognize it then, but now that I'm older,
oh yeah, yeah.
I do recognize that they seen talent in me. And they just didn't do it with me. They did it with other people too.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, they recognized the basketball. I wasn't the best shooter, the best dribbler,
Yeah.
but I had an eye for the game and a mind for the game.
Yeah.
Even in slow pitch, they seen me with my speed,
Yeah.
and they knew how to get down on me, but
Mhm.
in a way where it was constructive criticism.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, I get that. Yeah,
And with my view on it,
yeah,
when I see girls or boys out there that are playing the game,
yeah, yeah.
I try to do my best to give him that extra push.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but now that my daughter's a little older, I can kind of get more into it with the basketball stuff because I kind of stepped away after I had my kids.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
before that, I was really involved with the community stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do find that well, especially with me, like I remember as a younger kid, I was wanting to get into higher level hockey, but it was like it was almost like there was like this sort of, I guess, I wouldn't say culture or anything, but I guess for me, there wasn't really that push,
Mm-hmm.
to for myself, I could have I could have went further if I wanted, but it's just I do find that you're right. Sometimes there isn't that push at home. There isn't that people encouraging. It's unfortunate. I find, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and also too, I even in high school, I had the chance to go to Colorado State for a 100-meter dash, but I didn't really. I guess relationships got in the way, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, stuff from home, kind of like, and you don't have that push, and you don't have people encouraging you, and it kind of gets hard, and then like
Mm-hmm.
I guess life gets to you and stuff like. For me, it was more like there was a lot of partying going on
Mm-hmm.
for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and that really steered me away from a lot of that. Like, well, for myself personally, I did have that experience,
Mm-hmm.
of like the that partying, the all that stuff, it seemed like it was part of to be cool, and so also for myself, that's what kind of happened with myself. I don't know if it's the same with other people, but that for sure happened with myself. But we're running out of time. We'll continue this conversation after the short break, but stay with us. This was 104.7, and we have JD Black on the air right now. So, yeah, stay with me. Okay, this is segment two of Sit Down with Nin'na, and we have JD Black in the house, and we just finished talking about, I believe I finished talking about my own experiences with sports and, the party life, I guess, getting in the way of my achievements and stuff. But yeah, I guess I'll let you wanted to reply to that, so I'll let you reply to that. Yeah. So,
I guess I can kind of relate to that too,
yeah,
because
yeah,
I kind of grew up within a family that
yeah,
kind of drink as well.
yeah,
And I wouldn't say that my mom did it too much. I would say that it was the family that I was around. And when I was younger and I had the opportunity, like kind of like you, I had the opportunity to go try out at Olds.
yeah.
It was more of like a ID to get see what level I'm at in basketball because I was actually not too bad back then.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I kind of messed it up with drinking,
yeah,
and not only that, um, I met my wife, my now wife, Cassie Black.
yeah.
We've been together about half our lives now.
Holy smokes!
Yeah,
Congratulations. Not
yeah,
many people can say that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's a pretty big achievement. But
yeah,
I guess I always thought I was the only one that did that. But
yeah.
now when I think about it now, there's a lot of people my age and maybe even younger now
Hmm.
that miss out on these incredible opportunities and stuff like that. So I
Yeah,
guess what they can learn from my experience is that go out and do it and don't don't think about anything else. Don't worry about the party, and that's always going to be there.
yeah, yeah.
But you only get one chance to
Hmm.
give that extra push. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, it's something that I find that does happen on the reserve, quite often, because I find there's like this. It's almost like it's a must kind of a thing. I noticed it when well, not just here, but where I used to live too. It's not just a. I find it's not just a reserve thing. It's a all over thing, And I guess, well, I think the one thing that I want to get across too. I'm not really blaming anybody. It's just how things were back then. It's just I remember people it being cool to be high.
Mm-hmm.
It being cool to drink. And then uh, it's sad to say a lot of the people that there's some people that aren't around anymore because of that, and it's I think that's one thing that the people on the some people on the reserve, I think, need to realize, not to like bash anybody though, it's because it's really nobody's fault. The way I see it, but
Mhm.
I do find it's kind of hurting the reserve in a sense to where we miss opportunities. Like especially with myself, I had a lot of opportunities actually.
Mhm.
And it was mainly because of the partying. And it's kind of I wish I could tell kids nowadays, hey, like what you said, it's always gonna be there. It's essentially when I look back on it, it's kind of unnecessary to be honest. It's
Mhm.
I find it now. It's kind of like a little bit uncool and unnecessary, but like I guess some people like to do it. But I guess if I were to talk to somebody, I would say, maybe put it off. Go achieve some things first. Maybe uh, go to school, or like if you want to become the world's best baseball player, go
Mhm.
achieve that. Go win some medals. It's because I do find that does wreck a lot of opportunities for some people. Yeah, and I do have some friends that I think could have made it into the NHL, or I do know of some friends that maybe could have made it to college basketball, or triple A baseball and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess that's just the gist of it and stuff. But yeah, I don't know if you have the same opinion, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on the subject as well. So
Yeah, like you said about some of the people that aren't here with us anymore.
yeah,
Like when I was younger, I went to the high school,
yeah,
and around here, we don't have like the same population as Strathmore or Calgary, where you have to try out for the team.
yeah,
You
yeah,
go with what you have.
yeah, yeah,
And with us, we were very fortunate to have a good core of 6 to 7 guys.
yeah, yeah,
And out of those 7 guys, I think only 3 of us are still giving her,
yeah,
still
yeah,
playing.
yeah,
And one, I can't remember where he is now. But the one that kind of stands out to me is my brother,
yeah.
Lake Darnell Many Hits.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They recently had a basketball tournament for him.
yeah, yeah,
And man, this guy was crazy. He was a
yeah,
crazy athlete.
yeah,
He
yeah,
he didn't work out.
yeah,
He barely shot around, but he just had a crazy talent for basketball.
yeah, yeah,
And I always wondered why he was so good at it.
yeah, yeah,
But this guy used to get up early in the morning, get on a bus to school, come to school, play basketball, and do your work, go to the gym, play basketball all evening, rec league, all that.
yeah,
After all that's done, he would all walk all the way home to Chicago. And I've made that walk
yeah,
before, eh? It's not an easy walk. It's like a 2 to 3 hour walk.
yeah, yeah,
And for him to do that every day, man, I looked up to him because
yeah,
I told him that. And unfortunately, drugs, alcohol kind
yeah,
of get in the way of certain things and kind of
yeah,
bring your kind of derail your mind
yeah,
another way, right?
yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And he was like, I feel like some of the people that are on drugs and alcohol
yeah,
are some of the most funniest people, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
because
they are.
I was around
Yeah,
my brother Dickie,
yeah,
and he had his battles,
yeah,
but he was one of the funny. Like he's still a funny guy,
yeah,
but he was really funny when he was out there drinking and all that
yeah,
stuff. Eh?
yeah,
But yeah, losing your brothers and all that,
yeah,
and thinking about the good times. I guess that's the best thing
yeah,
is
yeah,
them being remembered
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and to a certain standpoint and stuff. I guess.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely. Also, too, it'd be kind of like it'd be cool, like because I know we're starting to have more events, like especially with the health fair and
Mm.
uh, what's it called again? We have a week here, and it's during the POW. What's that called again?
Uh,
Uh,
Awareness week, I
yeah,
guess.
awareness
Yeah.
week or something like that. It'd be cool to have like some sort of event, or like even just anything, like even just a tournament where we. It would be cool to recognize those people, those athletes, to be like, because I feel like a lot of the hidden talent should be recognized. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Yeah, it'd be cool to have that kind of thing on the reserve, just to at least recognize them, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's kind of like I find like with your brother, I feel like a lot of that talent, it doesn't come by and it's really special, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it's like I had that a lot with some of my friends. I had one friend, he actually played hockey, and this dude was like magical, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like, and they don't even practice, and it's like talent, like just a mind for the sport, and it's, I find that these gifts that some of the people have on the reserve, we need to recognize them, recognize that talent, also too with like other things too. I know we got like musicians, we got all these other talented people on the reserve. We got artists, we got rappers, a lot of people, it would also be cool. This is just an idea. It'd also be cool to find a way to like have this thing on the reserve, like it's just an idea though, like with a, let's say, a athlete, right? It was like this kid in grade 8, he was like so gifted with basketball, let's say, and let's say he wanted to go to the next level, right? Imagine if we had like the on the reserve this person, who was worked at the band office or some, who had this designated job just to find hidden talent on the reserve, right? And boost them to that next level. Be like, all right, well, we're gonna get you trained. I'll get you tryouts. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of cool to like if we had that sort of thing to help our athletes get to that level. Have uh, elite level.
Kind of like a scout, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
scouting, and then it would help the people on the reserve. That because I feel like the problem that we have on the reserve is like what you said. Sometimes we just have to deal with what we got. The population isn't that huge, and I found there was the same when I tried to play hockey. It was like, well, we just played with the team that we had, and that's all we had, and it's like, and then the hidden talent, it it, it was there, but it's just there wasn't that push. So maybe we need something like that on the reserve to help our athletes get that help them go the distance. You know what I mean? Because if they had the opportunities, it would be awesome for them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know what you think about that. It's just like
I think that's perfectly on point.
yeah,
And
yeah,
what I think what I guess the athletes should recognize is that the achievements that we do have now,
yeah, yeah,
they're big achievements.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know, because we did it with our reserve. You did it with your cousins. You did it with your brothers, your sisters,
yeah, yeah,
and stuff like that. Your relatives. That's very hard to do.
yeah, yeah,
Like I don't think you can do that off reserve.
yeah, yeah,
Not many communities can say that besides other reserves,
yeah, yeah,
right? So our hockey teams, our basketball teams, we're a very rare breed because sometimes it's just a bunch of cousins going up there to go win a tournament.
oh yeah,
You win
definitely,
it and then you bring it back and you don't really get to hear about it,
yeah, yeah,
but some of the I guess the sport minds
yeah, yeah,
said, "Oh, you won this tournament?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, you just aren't you guys related and stuff like that."
yeah, yeah,
Like that kind of goes back to our spank time team, right?
oh
So
yeah, yeah,
for us to win as a family, it's good to win tournaments.
yeah, yeah,
You win some money, you win merchandise, but for I guess it's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the recognition of the rare breed that we have
yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah,
it's a family team.
yeah,
We're going into a tournament to play against other teams around the area, not
yeah,
only in Alberta but in uh, BC, Saskatchewan, all the other places, right?
yeah, yeah.
And for us to be that good, I
Yeah.
guess it's just bittersweet.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it definitely is. It's just uh it's somewhat amazing to hear some of the achievements that some of the, like, even with your team, with you, all these achievements that people on the reserve have achieved, these need to be like seriously recognized, but yeah, that's all we have for this segment. That was segment 2, and we have JD Black with us. And yeah, we're going to continue the discussion after this short break on 104.7. So yeah, stay with me. But yeah, we are back with segment 3 of Sit Down with Nin'na, and we have JD Black in the house. So yeah, we're just gonna we're gonna continue continue the discussion. Yeah, but what were we talking about last segment? I think about sports stuff like that, hidden talent. But yeah, I know you also wanted to talk about your fastball team. Maybe just tell us a little bit about your fastball team. Well, what are your plans for the future? But yeah, take it away.
I guess I haven't really created a big plan for the future,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
or anything. At first, it was more of like just go for the flow,
yeah, yeah,
just to prove something,
yeah, yeah.
and I think I did. I did prove it.
Oh yeah,
Back then, when we were playing slow pitch,
yeah,
some of the older guys, like my uncles and stuff like that, used to call us skirt ball players.
yeah,
And I didn't really think anything of it. And then as I got older, I realized that I had an eye for the game. I was good at playing this.
yeah, yeah,
At any type of baseball, I was pretty good at it.
yeah, yeah.
And I first started out with Jules and his brother Jeremy Black, late
Oh yeah,
Jeremy Black.
yeah.
We started out on the T-Birds.
Mhm.
He was playing with somebody else, then he started T-Birds.
Yeah.
I brought a few of my family bros over there and got a good look at it for 2 years to see how things are run. And I was like, well, maybe I can run this too.
Yeah.
If I'm running my spring time team like this, maybe I can, try switch it over and try this fastball thing out. But in order to do that, you need a pitcher.
Yeah, yeah.
So looking for a pitcher was totally out of the question. Paying for a pitcher, some people pay like $3,000 to $10,000 a pitcher, right?
Oh,
And
crazy.
I don't have $3,000, so
Yeah.
I trained myself. I figured, well, if I can do it, I think I can make this thing happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So I started training. I got decent at it, not the best.
Yeah.
And our brothers from down south, Winslow and Mario, decided to jump on our team. And Mario's like a beast on the mound, eh?
Yeah.
And we had our first run at it last year, our first time entering, whatever. And we had an amazing year for both Springtime and Treaty 7 Kings.
Yeah.
We won a lot of tournaments with Springtime.
Yeah.
And then with Treaty 7 Kings, we won the CISA fastball league in Calgary there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we placed first. And then with our Chargers team, it's basically the Treaty 7 Kings.
Yeah.
We're basically the first native team to ever win a provincial title.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we've had an amazing year last year, and we plan on having a repeat.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we're doing the right thing by all winter we
Yeah.
stayed together by practicing in the cages and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Us pitchers, you got to stay conditioned.
Yeah,
by-
yeah.
You lift a bit, throw a bit, stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I think we can make a run at it.
Oh
So
yeah.
this year we're gonna be heading up to Calgary for the Canadian Fastball Championships. And
Yeah.
I think we'll have a good team at it.
Oh
It
yeah.
wouldn't be the Treaty 7 Kings. This year we're gonna be going as the Treaty 7 Athletics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a few other boys and stuff like that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I think we'll be okay.
Oh yeah. I also have a question too. Is it very hard to, like, let's say if you wanted to go, like, even like compete at with, I don't know what you would call it. I guess you guys are, if you wanted to go play like in a big huge tournament like that involves all of Canada, how hard would that be to, like, do you just gotta enter, or do you what's the kind of process to get to, like, if you wanted to, because I think you guys could actually get to that level if you really try hard, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I think we can too.
Yeah, yeah.
But right now, this is gonna be our last year in the B Div.
Yeah, yeah.
Regardless of how we do, we're gonna move up to the A
Yeah.
because we have the players to do it.
Yeah.
We have the pitcher to do it, and I've been training enough, so I feel that I can get good as these other guys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
and we have another couple other fastball teams on the reserve.
Yeah.
Jules Black still has his Renegades.
Yeah.
He has players from Sarcee down
Yeah.
south, kind of all over Treaty 7.
Yeah.
And Jonah Jerry and Arnold Jerry,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
the Chiefs, they're running the Canadian fastballs this year in Calgary. So
Oh really?
yeah, they're a pretty good team. They have
Yeah.
a lot of good vets on the team.
Oh yeah.
We've learned a few stuff from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of bring it to our team, and I
Mhm.
guess just learn off each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's what the main goal is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody stick together. And there's another up and coming team, the Warriors.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Kevin Water Chief and Kai Water Chief's team.
Oh yeah. I seen that.
A lot
yeah.
of baseball, fastball is coming alive on reserve.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a couple girls teams, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just know the one, Shocks. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
other girls team.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called actually.
Oh yeah. 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 I seen that too. Yeah. Also too, I know there's like a big. I don't know if I haven't like I'll be honest. I haven't actually been to the baseball tournaments that happen during the powwow, but like, uh, is that going to be really big? Because I know they're going to be using the diamonds over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I know that's going to be really big too. Are you guys planning to play in that as well?
Yeah. Well, we're planning to try repeat it.
Oh yeah,
But I'm not sure how it's gonna be big this year because they switched dates around.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so I don't think it's gonna be on the same day
yeah, yeah.
as the powwow. So it's just gonna be a baseball tournament.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they put a team limit on there, and I'm not sure how much interest they'll get out of that because when you do that, I've done it from learning experience. When you
Oh
put
yeah,
a
yeah.
team limit on things,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Stuff like that.
it's hard
Yeah.
to get interest from other surrounding communities. But I think it's an open tournament,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I encourage everybody to check it out because it is usually res tournaments are the big money tournaments.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah, like Sarcee,
Yeah, yeah,
Gunny, Gaina,
yeah, yeah.
us. I guess those are the only ones we really played in so
Oh yeah,
far.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you guys do you guys travel to different because I know Paul Band has a tournament. I know Saddle Lake has a tournament as well. Do you guys if you guys have the time, do you guys just go to those tournaments?
I guess whoever can travel with us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but we do have family up there. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Cass's brothers Angus.
Yeah, yeah.
And his other families from up north.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they have their own family team called the Yankees.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we kind of just put our teams together, and
Hmm.
we've definitely placed first in a couple tournaments out there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think if they have their powwow and we go back up there, I think we can do a repeat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we're a pretty good little bunch here.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got going.
Yeah, that definitely sounds pretty good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just also too. I also not like the best, but I do actually miss playing baseball in a sense. Well, I mean like because I used to play here and there, but yeah, I find baseball is a really fun sport in a sense that it's just how do I say it? It's not like hockey. It's not like other sports. It's very. I find it's very entertaining. It's very. It's a good way to keep going. Uh, I just like I'm more of a person that's just always been interested, but I've never played. But I like watching it
Mhm.
actually, and it's quite fun because I know some people are like they kind of don't enjoy it, but I kind of think they don't understand that it's how fun it actually is. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just that's one thing that I've always been kind of like I don't tell anybody, but whenever I get the chance, I'll go hit some balls like at a batting cage or something and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's I find it's a very fun sport in that sense too. The other thing I actually wanted to talk about too, but we're running out of time. But I'll try to get this in as quickly as possible. But uh, as long as we're on the discussion of sports and stuff, what was uh, I guess to give like a message to youth. But we delved into it in the second segment, right? But
Mhm.
I guess more give more of a bigger I guess give a bigger message. What would your message be to youth out there who are kind of struggling because just because I've heard stories, I've heard stories of youth who are going through a lot, with just having the troubles, youth are going through a lot of depression. I've heard of stories. I've even heard of kids drinking at as young as 12. It's wild. And what would your message be to that youth out there, who are going through that hard time?
Well, well, they need to know is that they're not alone. Because I
Yeah,
was definitely there before
yeah,
with depression.
yeah,
I didn't know what anxiety was until my 30s.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
36 now,
yeah, yeah,
right? And I didn't know what all that was until later in my life. And I've had my run-ins with suicide as well.
yeah,
And that was because I thought I had nobody.
yeah,
But I've had to try find ways to stay active and
yeah,
keep my mind busy.
yeah, yeah.
And a lot of it, um, I've had more fun playing sports with my bros than
Yeah.
drinking with my bros, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, yeah,
And find what your love is, but without the alcohol and drugs, because that just kind of like pushes you in the other direction.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you find your way with sports,
Hmm.
like, well, for me it's sports. I kind of just stuck on my path. I've been playing sports, since I was in high school,
Yeah,
right? And I'm very fortunate to be as good as I am today
yeah,
because of stretch and working out,
yeah, yeah,
just maintaining my body.
yeah,
And if kids were able to find that,
yeah,
like to find love within working out and playing sports,
yeah,
or whether it was playing a guitar or rapping,
yeah,
like
yeah,
some of my other bros do,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, definitely.
just find your love
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stick to that. And it's going to be very hard to find love within drinking and alcohol,
yeah.
because
It is.
at the end of the day, if you do too much of it, it's just making you more depressed. And
Oh yeah,
it's not a escape, it's more of a blanket.
yeah, yeah,
But as soon as you take it off, it's right back there, right? So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, I totally agree with that. Yeah. But that's I like that message, and that's actually all the time we have for this segment. That was segment three, and yeah, stay with us for the last segment. That is segment four, and we have JD Black on the air today. So yeah, stay with me for the last segment. Okay, we are back with the fourth and last segment of Sit Down with Nin'na. This is episode 13, and we have JD Black. So, yeah, before we ended off there in the third segment, we were talking about mental health. And I think that's a perfect time to delve into, I guess, mental health and men on the reserve. So, like, I don't know if you have the same opinion, but I find with myself, just with the way men are raised, I feel like it's kind of a thing to where we're raised to be not vulnerable in a sense. We're
Mm-hmm.
raised to be really tough, and in turn, I feel like we don't take care of ourselves in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And not that it's not to be manly or whatever, but like I find that there's a lot of people on the reserve who kind of suffer in silence, and I think uh, in turn they turn to drinking and stuff. But yeah, I don't know if you have the same opinion with mental health and stuff, because I've experienced stuff like that. I feel that I don't share enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like open up enough to people, and yeah, in turn it's I'm still learning that, but yeah, I don't know if you have the same opinion on that subject.
Well, yeah, I do. I can relate. I guess every man kind of is different in their own sense
Yeah,
with their
yeah,
own households.
yeah, yeah,
Um, some it could be financial,
yeah,
it could
yeah.
be family,
Mm-hmm.
and some could just be in your own head.
Yeah, yeah,
Even loss, grief,
yeah, yeah,
all that thing. Like you said, like how men are supposed to be tough, but sometimes not all men are really good at handling their depression the way
yeah,
most are.
yeah, yeah,
And for me, when I guess when COVID hit,
yeah, yeah,
I hit my biggest depression, anxieties ever.
Yeah, yeah,
And I didn't know where it was from. I didn't know why I was feeling like that. I didn't know why I was the way I was. I thought I was going crazy, to be
yeah,
honest with you.
yeah,
And I kept talking with one of my bros, Cody Big Snake, and he was working over here at the time. But I didn't talk to him as a counselor. I talked to him more as a brother,
yeah.
because for me, talking to family is different than talking to people that you don't
Oh yeah,
see too often.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like if you talk to your family, sometimes family would just get mad at you.
yeah,
Why are you like this? Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then with Cody, he really put my life into perspective. And he just told me, like, you know what, bro, you're sick. You're not sick, but you're sick. You need to go see somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You need to see somebody that you're not used to talking to or you've never seen before. And, I've had my trust issues because of some workplaces that I've worked at before. But I won't talk about that. But that kind of left me in one of the biggest depressions of my life, because um, certain bros that I thought that were brothers,
Yeah.
sometimes those things can just make you think that nobody's going to be there for you ever. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Some people are supposed to be your bros,
yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah,
they do things behind your back,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they turn around and flip it around you, and you're the bad guy. And then,
Yeah,
like, how are you supposed to deal with that? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And for me, I've had a hard time with that for a while. And when I met Cody, had our talks, and then he introduced me to the clinic over here.
yeah,
I didn't know what I was doing.
yeah,
I was calling scared. I don't know why I was scared,
yeah,
but I called and I met this guy. His name's Melver,
yeah,
and he's a colored guy.
yeah, yeah,
He really brought my life into perspective.
yeah,
He let me know that I'm okay.
yeah.
That you know the mind is a powerful place,
Hmm.
and it can even give you symptoms of things that you're thinking,
Yeah, yeah,
give you your own headaches, because that's how strong your mind is,
yeah,
right? And he taught me some exercises. He kind of helped me reintroduce myself back into sports, reintroduce myself with my kids, reintroduce myself with my animals.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, the people that are close to me know how close I am with my pets.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's been times where uh, people try to get mad at my pets, and I'll literally almost fight that person over
oh
their
yeah,
pet. And so, yeah, I guess don't be afraid to reach out.
yeah, yeah,
Like, sometimes you don't need to reach out to family.
yeah.
Reach out to people that you don't know, because sometimes that's
Mm.
the best way to, I guess, what works for me.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
definitely.
it might work for somebody else in the future, I guess.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah, it's just I feel like it's something that a lot of people have trouble talking about. You know what I mean? It's I know I had trouble talking about that in a sense because I I guess the one thing that I had to learn just recently I started learning is that letting go. I didn't know how to let go because my thought was, I could say I let go, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's still there, I can still think about it. So how do I let go of something? And I didn't realize that even just from my childhood, right? It's just I didn't realize that I was holding on to all that stuff, and I think a lot of people don't realize that as well. It's just we hold on to stuff and we don't realize it, and it's just been so long that we only scrape the surface sometimes, and sometimes we need to dig a little. And I also agree with what you said too. Also, too, sometimes family, it's good to talk to family, but it's also good to talk to other people that you may not know because they don't have that judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's not nothing against family though, but like sometimes family has that they have that frustration.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's from good intentions, but sometimes they'll be like, oh, how come you're doing this? How come you can't just stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, you always get that kind of frustration, and I'm talking from experience too. But yeah, I feel like people when they come from that place, it's a hard place to get out of, and
Mm-hmm.
especially with what what I went through recently in like 2019 and stuff like that. It's hard, and I sympathize with a lot of people on the reserve. It's not an easy thing to confront. It's almost like trying to push this huge brick wall over, and it's hard. It gets hard, no question about that. And I guess this delves into like my new way of thinking. This was just recent, actually. I started thinking differently. Like I started thinking about my past. Not just what happened recently and a few years ago. I started thinking about my childhood. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I just want to be happy. That's the only thing. How do I be happy? How do I be strong? And I just realized I was just like, I'm kind of stopping myself. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, there's really nothing stopping me from being happy. All I have to do is just. So I learned that uh, to enjoy the day. You know what I mean? Like just like today, right? If I go back home to my family, to my wife and kids, I could just be like, well, I have a choice to stress about yesterday. I have a choice to stress about what happened a few years ago, or I could just enjoy today and not think about anything. Right? I actually came up with this good idea to help myself. Uh, I guess come down from everything. So there's like an hour out of the night, or like when I'm done everything, I'll just literally be like, okay, I'm not gonna think about anything for a few hours. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna play some games,
Mm-hmm.
and then or I'll go for a run. Yeah. But yeah, it's just I guess we all share those kind of experiences in a sense, but people go through it in their own ways. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just yeah,
So you like, well, like how you said, like your own little exercises that you what you do.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Me, when I recognize when I'm in my head, it's like when I'm quiet and I'm just thinking about certain things, whether it's in sports or
yeah, yeah,
other areas and stuff like that.
yeah.
That's when your mind is like overrunning and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that. So,
definitely.
one of the sayings that Malvern told me is "think with your eyes," and then I didn't really understand right away. He's just like, the only way you can think with your eyes is that if you're looking at somebody or you're looking at something,
Yeah,
talk about that, talk about,
yeah, yeah,
talk
yeah,
about what's in front of you,
yeah,
not
yeah.
what's in your head. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, huh?
And that's one of the, I guess, the better exercises that I learned, kind of
Oh,
like what you did as well.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
clear your mind, play games. I
yeah,
still play games now.
yeah,
Like I've been playing games since Nintendo. So
yeah.
I kind of like watched the generation of games come up, and then along with internet, with
Yeah,
dial up all the way, now you can play online against people all over. So
yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
insane.
that's
Yeah,
crazy from System Link to that. So
yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember back in the day too, just connecting up the Xboxes, people bringing their own TVs, and you just have a modem. You plug it in. You all plug into the modem, play some Halo or something like
Oh man, those were the best days.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's also kind of sad too. I was also talking to my wife about it too. It's kind of like it's kind of sad, but it's a sad but happy moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking about it the other day. I went to Lethbridge because I used to live in Lethbridge, and
Mm-hmm.
I miss living down there. And I just kind of said, well, it's kind of like bittersweet moments. It's like there were moments where you said you didn't know, but it was the last time you were gonna do this. There was a moment where where I probably went last time I played Xbox with the bros.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a bittersweet moment of like, oh, I wish I could go back. But I guess those are the kind of it's a part of letting go, right? But
Yeah.
it yeah, yeah,
It's
that's what.
hard to let go though,
Yeah, yeah, it's
right?
hard. It's hard to let go
Yeah.
of those moments, especially with friends that aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
It's like wishing you could go back. Wishing you could go back to the good old days.
Yeah.
That's what I realized too. It's kind of like I think we're in the good old days right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because time just goes by so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that old saying, I miss the good old days when there were good old days. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like for me, sometimes little things remind me of stuff like a certain smell.
Yeah. Yeah.
It will bring back a little memory of like who was all in a room or what was going on over here,
Oh
or
yeah.
like walking from the flats up to here. I used to walk to town
Oh yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
and just back in the day, you know when you take those things out of bottle caps and you win a free pop.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we used to go over to the bottle depot and pick at those caps,
yeah,
and then grab 10 cents on the ground,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then go get like 3 or 4 pop, and
Oh
then
yeah,
we'll pick crab apples, and that's all we would do.
yeah,
Go to Gleason and just play at the park,
yeah, yeah,
and I didn't realize we were just doing a whole bunch of nothing as
yeah,
kids. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, but those are the bittersweet memories, and some of those things are a lot with people that aren't here anymore,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I guess another way you can recognize like depression and anxiety and stuff like that is
yeah.
the amount of drinking that somebody's doing, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like it's not too hard to ask somebody, "Are you all right?" You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like if they're drinking too much and stuff like that, like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Are you okay?" Of course, if you're a guy, you're gonna be, "I'm all right. I'm good." But you know, if somebody asks you that, don't be afraid to like just tell them,
yeah, yeah,
what's going on in your head, because I lost a lot of family that I wish I could have said that to,
yeah, yeah,
that are not
definitely.
here anymore, because
Yeah,
some of them were drinking and they died because of drinking,
yeah,
or they were drinking and then they suicide while they were drunk.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
you just don't know what's
yeah,
going on with people.
yeah,
So I know I really wish I can ask those guys,
yeah,
those my aunties, my uncles, and all of them, "Are you all right?" You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that's one thing I kind of live with in my head, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what makes me miss a lot of my cousins and
Oh yeah,
bros and
yeah,
stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's kind of like it's wild to think about just of how much times change, especially with some of the people that are gone. I also learned about this thing. We're running out of time, but I'll try to fit this in. But from a cartoon of all places, but I learned this thing. So this character, right? I I can't remember. I was watching this, but this character, he was kind of going through a hard time, right? And he lost his brother in this show, and so he was kind of saying like, oh, well, and he has like his teacher, right? His teacher, and then so his he was kind of blacking out. He was saying, well, how would you like it if I took everybody you loved? And he's like, well, he's like, that's a good point. He's like, but you're a little too late. They're already all gone. And then
Mm-hmm.
so that student was like, holy smokes. And uh, he's like, it's good to remember them and think about them. This is the teacher talking. He was like, it's good to remember them and think about them. He said, but we also got to remember that we also have new people that replace those, and those people that we once had, And he said, maybe we should be thankful for those people, and maybe, how did he say it again? It was so perfect the way he said it. Oh, it's so good, or we're so grateful that we were able to find new companions to fill that void.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's the way that I kind of try to get over it. But it's hard to not think about those fun times, those fun times. But I also get pretty thankful at times too, because there's people who've come and gone, and but then again we find new friends, to fill that void,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's all the time we have for this segment. That's segment 4, and thank you, JD, for coming in. That was
Thank
such a
you.
great, yeah, it was such a great episode. We talked about so much and everything. Yeah, maybe we'll see, but yeah, that was episode 13 with sit down with Nin'na and JD Black. But yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.